Welcome. I'm so happy. This is day 5.
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, day 5.
Woo!
Woo! Okay, so I've been getting some feedback because I've been sending this out to my friends, and I just want to do a shout out for Aunt Nan, who said, Sam, could you put a little lipstick on, a little makeup? And it's like, I'm so focused on cooking that, yeah, you can still look good while you're cooking. And then another friend of mine sent back, he goes, you could smile a little bit. So it's like, oh yeah, remember to smile when I'm doing this. But like, I'm bringing you into my world and sharing how I eat and how I cook, and it's so intimate for me. So if I'm not smiling, know that my heart is smiling. I am so excited about doing this and sharing with you this what I've done. Okay, so somebody had asked, what pans do I use? I have an old set of All-Clad that my husband bought me like 10 years ago. And so that's what this is, All-Clad.
Where do you get that? Like Macy's?
All-Clad. I don't know if they even make it anymore, but I got it Williams-Sonoma. You can get it at Macy's, Williams-Sonoma. But this we got at Costco, and this is Kirkland. And it's got the lines. And, I'm not really tied in to anything. This is also Green Pan, and I think I got this at the Green Pan. No, you don't like this one? Rosie doesn't like it. I don't care. You know what? It's just like, I can cook on a tin can. The lid of a tin can. It's more about, to me, the elements that I'm doing there, the heat and the things that I'm putting on there as opposed to the pan. And I just don't let it, I don't let, as my husband would say, don't let the perfect get in the way of the good enough. So I'm going to set this to the side now. And we are making tri-tip today. And I'm going to do grilled onions in tri-tip. And so I'm, of course, going to start out with my pan. And I am not using a Teflon pan today. I am using just my regular All-Clad. Okay. So again, I do the same thing. I heat it up. While this is heating up, I'm going to toast off some of the sea salt and a little bit of my pepper, just enough. And I've got some fresh herbs here. So I'm going to put a little bit of my sage from my garden in here, just to add. So I've got herbs and spices. I got a little dill. I might do that, a little thyme. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this onion, and I'm going to be cooking the onion up at the same time I'm doing the steak, so that the onion is going to pick up all of the flavor from that steak, and it's going to be infused in, and I've got a little shallot here also, and I'm going to infuse it all together. So the steak will pick up the onion, and the shallot, the onions are going to pick up the drippings, the fat from the steak. And it's delicious. It's absolutely delicious. I kind of like, I like to see things working together. And again, I would not throw this away. I would put this into a bucket, and some of the water that you have left over from steaming your vegetables, you can put this in. You can make a nice vegetable broth. So I'm going to take my shallot, and I'm going to kind of a rough cut here. Take my onion. And I'm going to basically kind of caramelize this. Break it up. I wish you could smell that wonderful sage. I'm going to take my wooden spoon, and I'm going to caramelize these onions. While, whoa,
No, fan.
Little fan there would be good. Okay, so I've got my my meat, and This is room temperature now. I put it into the microwave on defrost. It wasn't frozen, just for like 30 seconds to kind of heat it up because now it's room temperature. It's going to cook quicker. It's going to cook quicker and be more even because when it's really ice cold on the inside, it's going to take longer. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to brown it. Remember, I got a real high heat here. I got the onions around it. And I'm going to caramelize and cook that. Okay, always clean everything up when you're done. You don't want to cross-contaminate. Just soap and hot water. That's all you need. So I did do onions on this, and I don't want the onion flavor to get into my my next project here. So I am going to grab a small cutting board. Remember I said about putting a tissue underneath so it doesn't slide. I like this board here. So I'm going to do this and put this over the top. And now it's secure and it's not going to slide. All right, meanwhile, I want to stay right here so that I can, if it needs a little more fat, you can do a little more fat. So I'm caramelizing the onion and cooking my meat. Whoa, that's getting a nice brown. Beautiful. And all these flavors are kind of coming together. Steak does not need much. If you got a good steak, has a little bit of ribbon of fat in there, it's going to be beautiful. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make one of my favorites, which is called Tutti Fruity. And I'm going to make a double batch. So 1 fruit or 6 ounces. So I'm going to take, this is about a 3-ounce banana. Half of this is about 3 ounces. So there's going to be 6 ounces. I'm going to have 6 ounces of apple, and I'm going to have 6 ounces of banana. That's enough for 2 people. In my world, I eat 1 ounce of oats. So this is for 2. So I'm going to do 2 ounces of oats. The students at school love Tutti Fruity. And then we're going to put in 16 ounces of yogurt. You can do this the night before, and it's really called refrigerator oats overnight. I almost got it. Put this to the side, and then I put this up. So this is where you use your overripe bananas, and you just stir it up real good. And if it sits overnight, those oats get really soft. All it takes is about 15 minutes of it sitting in the yogurt. You don't need to use Greek yogurt. You can use regular yogurt. You can do half milk and half yogurt. That works too because the oats thicken it up. You can use unflavored kefir, which is really good. I love kefir. It's kind of like more of a liquid yogurt. Okay,
or non-dairy yogurt.
Or non-dairy yogurt, you can use that. But I don't use anything with sugar in it. So I think they have an unsweetened coconut yogurt now that you can do. Yeah, that's real good if you want to be vegan. Okay, so you can kind of see the consistency here. Kind of awesome. Okay, now I'm going to, I already washed my apple. Hold on 1 second. Now I'm going to put a lid on this because remember what I told you yesterday about a lid? A lid will hold in. Watch out. Oh, sorry. It'll hold in the moisture. I'm just going to do it so that it's going to caramelize and cook. It's kind of like an oven situation. So I'm going to cut my apple in half. I leave the skin on. I cut it at an angle like this just to get the core out for the seeds. Put that to the side. Then I'm going to take it, kind of like what I showed you yesterday with the melon. Always protecting your fingers. Always protecting your fingers. Saying that in the restaurant, in the kitchen, as soon as you cut your finger, game over. You're out for a couple of days. Unless you want to wrap it in a Band-Aid and wear a glove. But you never want to have any open wounds in the kitchen. So then I'm going to take it like this. And basically, you can see how small that is. Here's my baby finger. That's what it's going to look like. And you just start putting this in here. Children love this. I would say, what do you say, about 70–80% of the kids at school come in and they love, this is one of their favorite things, especially when they come back to visit me after they've graduated. They go, Chef Cindy, can you make me Tutti Fruity? So the sugar is going to be coming from the fresh fruit. So when I talked yesterday or a few days ago about Dr. Lustig and sugar, he always says, eat the fruit, don't drink the juice. And the reason why the fructose in the fruit is the toxin for the liver. So the antidote for the toxin, because Mother Nature is so smart, she wants you to, or he or she or whoever, they want you to eat the fruit. They put the sugar in there because it's, it's got energy, that's a carbohydrate, it's good for you. And they wanted you to get to eat all that, those good vitamins and minerals and energy. So they put the antidote right in with the toxin. So how smart is that? So you can see I've got this all together.
They can't see that up there.
I know, I was gonna wipe the board down. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna mix this all together. I don't know if you can see that. The sweetness from the overripe bananas, the yogurt is your protein, but it's also part of your fat and your carbohydrate because remember, it's got a fat, it's got a protein, and it is a carbohydrate because of the lactose, and lactose is milk sugar. Hold on for 1 second. This is going real good. So I'm kind of frying and baking at the same time. I'm going to turn that on lower. So this is all going to be, and it's, you can just see how beautiful that is. It's just a delicious, delicious breakfast. So this is about 2 servings. For children, I would say it's about 4 servings. And this is a great snack. I make a bowl that's like this big at school every morning. And then I just keep little cups and spoons. And the kids, if they're hungry and they haven't had breakfast or they're hungry in between classes, they come in and they can have Tutti Fruity. So this will put a lid on it. It'll last 2 to 3 days. And your kids are gonna love it, love it, love it, especially if you have them make it. So have them chop up the apples, peel the bananas, get involved. I like to clean everything up around the edges. And another thing you could do is you could sprinkle some fresh blueberries on the top. Blueberries or blackberries. If you want, chop up some nuts on there. So let your kids try that. That's really good. Okay, so put a nice lid on it to seal it. The next thing we're going to make. So people would say when I come, you know, I'm also a baker. I make fabulous cookies and cheesecakes and all that kind of stuff. But I always felt like I didn't want to be the food pusher. Ooh, these are doing so nice. I did not want to be the food pusher, and I wanted to live in integrity. And people would say, well, you don't eat that. If you're not going to eat that, Cindy, why should I eat it? And it was like, wow, you know, there's a concept. I've had my weight off, like I said, for almost 20 years. And when I show up to someone's house now, I bring Cindy's cheesecake. And this is Cindy's cheesecake. So Rose, again, this can be your breakfast right here, or it can be if you go to somebody's house. So I'm going to weigh out. This will be enough for 2 portions. So I'm going to put in 3 ounces of shredded wheat. Okay. And I'm going to spread it here on the bottom. This is the crust. So if you have nuts in your food plan, I don't eat nuts in my food plan. They tend to make me nuts. I'm going to just soak this a little bit with just a little bit of water so that it's not dry. Just kind of move that around. Put a little bit of water in there. Okay, but if you had nuts, you could take and you could chop up some almonds and crush the shredded wheat and put almonds and shredded wheat on the bottom. And that would be, or pecans or whatever kind of nut that you were having. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take this yogurt and I'm going to zero it out. And I'm going to put 16 ounces of yogurt, which is 2 cups. Or 1 pound. So I've got 1 pound of yogurt. And I spread this out over the top. So the shredded wheat is the crust. The yogurt is like the cheesecake. Okay, so I'm spreading it out evenly. I'm going to zero this out, and then I'm going to put 12 ounces of fruit. So I've got some strawberries. I'm going to sprinkle some strawberries on here. And you can get creative. You can make, you know, it's for the July, you could line up all your colors and make it like a flag. But I think, Rose, you kind of like things mixed up, right? So you like it a little bit of all the different kinds. I've got a few blackberries. But we also have some frozen berries too. So I'm going to put some of these raspberries on the top. What's great about weighing and measuring is you know exactly how much you should have, especially because this tastes so good. You can see for a breakfast, you can get quite a bit. So, and then I'm going to throw a couple of cherries in there. Are you okay with a couple of cherries, Rose? We have frozen cherries. So I'm going to cut these in half. They've already been pitted. So I'm going to cut them in half. And that is Cindy's cheesecake. You can make that ahead of time. So that's what I take to people's homes. I'll get a nice Pyrex dish. They can kind of see what's in it. They can layer it up. You can put more yogurt in there if you want. You can put nuts and shredded wheat on the bottom. You could do shredded wheat toasted. You could do oats toasted and then put some nuts and put that on the bottom instead of shredded wheat. And then put the yogurt on the top and then your berries on the top. It is delicious. Okay, I'm going back to look at my meat. Whoa, look at this. This is looking so darn good. Okay, onions are picking up all those wonderful flavors. I'm going to check the thermometer. Now, with beef, you want it to be about 150, about 125. So I am going to spray a little bit more on this side. Just a little bit there. I'm going to clear all this off now. And I've got some nice baby Bella mushrooms here. And I am going to slice them just in half, maybe threes. So I got my oil all nice, just a little bit of spray in there. So I'm going to throw these in now. Turn my heat up just a little bit. My meat's at 130. I'm almost there. Oh, this little, nice little. I am just going to let those cook. What do you think, Rose? Getting hungry?
Well done.
Huh?
I like my meat well done.
Oh, you like it well done?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Maybe pop it.
good. So I am just going to, these mushrooms don't take very long. So I wanted to talk about carbohydrates, fats, and protein. There's 6 essential nutrients. There's 6 essential nutrients. There's carbohydrates, where you get your energy. That's the body's preferred fuel. There's protein, which is the building blocks for your body. That's where your amino acids come in. That's where your immune system, you want to have enough protein, good protein, so that you can repair yourself. And so that's good for your immune system. Then you have your fats, your lipids. That's what we call a condensed source of energy. So they have 9 calories, and I don't count calories. I'm just telling you that fat has almost a little over double the amount of calories that lean protein and all of your carbohydrates have. So those are 3 of your 6 essential nutrients. Then you've got vitamins, minerals, and water. If you eat a wide variety of fresh fruits and veggies and you drink some water every day, and you have good proteins, healthy proteins that you eat, and a little bit of the fats, you're going to be able to get all those vitamins and minerals in the water. So that's getting your 6 essential nutrients in every day. Okay, this is going so good. We are at, so I know now that if I just go right to the top on my meat, I'm going to turn this over. Onions are just looking amazing. Steak, so I'm going to move those to the side. Let them just kind of, mushrooms don't need very long. I'm going to let that keep going. I'm going to put my lid back on here. Turn this down. We're going to be ready in just a minute. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of reiterate what we did. When you have, for me, I try to have all of the 6 essential nutrients at each of my meals so that all day long, I am giving my body the energy it needs from the carbohydrates that spares the protein so that the protein then can do rebuilding. It can take care of rebuilding and have for a strong immune system. So the fats that I eat olive oils, and then I have, you know, the meats that I eat is where I get the fat from, and from my yogurt too. So I'm getting my fats, my lipids, I'm getting my carbohydrates for energy, I'm getting lean, good proteins all day long. And along with that, I'm getting my vitamins, my minerals, and I'm drinking water. So 6 essential nutrients are going through my body all day long. My largest meal of the day is lunchtime, because that's when I really need my energy. My smallest meal is at dinner time, where I just have a salad, it's a little lean piece of protein, and then I have my vegetables, of course. So when I'm thinking about, you know, winding down at night and where I need my energy, I need my body to start fasting. So I have 12 hours, 12 to 13 hours between my last meal and my first meal of the day. As my body, my blood sugars are coming down because it's not having to work so hard to be able to, when I'm snacking all night long, there's a time when my body just gets to rest. And then that's when my body does triage or anything that needs to be taken care of. Maybe I have a sore knee, or maybe I worked out too hard and I have a sore muscle. These are the times when your body is taking care and repairing. So you kind of slow down, you rest, you sleep, you're going in the direction, and then that you need to be fasting. And if your stomach is trying to digest food late at night, then you're kind of throwing everything off. So I fast. I also fast between meals. I never snack. I eat my breakfast at 6 a.m. every day, 7 days a week. I have my lunch between 12 and 12:30. I have my dinner between 5 and 5:30, so that my body knows the amounts of food that I'm going to that I'll be coming into my body, so that my body can my body relies on itself. So that discipline, having that structure, that I just know I'm always going to show up. So I think that my meat is about done now. So of course you want to bring it out, and we're going to want to let it rest. All this is just clean up. Oh, you can see how those mushrooms are nice and brown, and these onions have been caramelized. They're so good. There's not any fat rolling around here. It's been absorbed into these vegetables, which is what you need. You need those nice lipids right into your veggies. So I'm going to turn this off now. Yum, yum. This is going to sit for like about 3 to 5 minutes. Just let it sit there. And this is and it's going to even out now. Okay, good. I'm just going to let it sit for a little bit, Rose, and it'll even out. It'll be ready to eat. So I'm going to put these veggies onto a plate. I hope you're having as much fun as I'm having. And you have any questions, just post them. And we will be talking. Food, you should, in my attitude, is you need to enjoy your food. It needs to taste good. That's the way it's supposed to be. But your food should not kill you at all. Your food should, anything I put into my mouth, oh my gosh, that's going to be wonderful, wonderful. So I can just, you can smell the sage and the herbs. Okay, I'm going to take this. Now when I get done, I'm just going to slice up the meat and put it right over the top. So there you go.
Awesome.
Down there.
Beautiful.
So, enjoy. It's really easy to fix steak and onions and mushrooms, and they're your veggies. And don't forget 6 essential nutrients. For me, it's 3 meals a day. If you're a child and, you know, kind of make them a little smaller meals and give them something mid-morning or mid-afternoon. Tutti Fruity is perfect. Let the kids chop the apples, chop up the bananas. Another thing I do, and maybe I'll show it next time, is I take yogurt and frozen raspberries or blueberries, and I'll do even, and I mix it up, and that's what I call frozen yogurt. So you can take yogurt, you can use unsweetened coconut yogurt and frozen berries, mix it. Frozen pineapple is amazing. Then you can throw some coconut in there. Kids love it. And I tell them, let's make some frozen yogurt. So have a wonderful day. I got a big smile on my face.
Yeah.
Vito, it's a shout out to you. I got the smile. Okay, you guys have a great one. I'll see you guys tomorrow.